Hello, YouTube. It is Tina here, dropping in. Happens to be Sunday morning on the side of the planet that I'm on. And I'm going to talk today about mental illness and spirit and psychic ability. And the two topics that I'm going to speak on about mental illness is anxiety and depression. Those are the two most common ailments in this country, in the United States right now. Especially with the pandemic thing, you know, it's got everybody on edge. But those are also two of the very first abilities that kind of develop as an empath towards a spiritual awakening that is yet to come. Okay, because kind of a little long drawn out where you're headed to thing with this. The majority of people who suffer from depression, it's not real depression, it's not yours. Now, some of you do. Please consult your physician. This is just my opinion, okay? Get your own knowledge, base your own opinions on what anybody tells you. You know, just don't listen to one person. You know, get opinions and then make your own judgment calls. But of a lot of depression that we are experiencing is truly not ours. Some of us are very highly empathic people, and that means that we feel others' energy. And we kind of respond accordingly. We line up with that energy. And, you know, depression kind of comes on a lot of different ways, you know, because you are feeling things, you don't know how to handle it, so you close down even a little bit more. There's not a thing wrong with you if you are depressed. It's okay. Don't think you're whacked. You know, don't let the commercials on TV let you think that you're really a bummed and lower person because they're promoting a drug. I want you to realize that if you're experiencing depression, you're getting ready to go through some changes. It's kind of the way the soul allows you to purge some things out. It allows you to bring it to the surface. You know, you're not dealing with it. When some of these thoughts and emotions come up, you're not dealing with it. You're suppressing it, keeping it back down, and that's kind of where the depression cycle kind of goes. But now you got to feel for where that all comes from. We have a lot of kids that are experiencing depression that never did either. And most of them are very empathic. And they are feeling what's going on around them. And they align energy with what they are experiencing out there, you know, when they were going to school. But right now, they're at home and you're able to keep their alignment where you need it to be a little better. Your daily activities should be as happy and as chipper as possible because that's where you want your kids to align with that energy. Allow your kids to talk to you if you think they're depressed. They may come to you. You'll see the behaviors. You know how they normally behave. But don't think that just if they are depressed or if you're depressed, it's not a wrong thing. It's not a bad thing. It's okay. You wouldn't be human if you didn't experience it. Now, the other part of that, those disorders is the anxiety. And psychically, again, anxiety is very much associated with having empathic ability, feeling other people's vibration, their worries, their stress, and we kind of just take it all on ourselves. I have, you know, when I went through that real deep empathic stage of my psychic development, I slept a lot too. Absolutely was drained and had no idea why. And it's because somebody else's energy was happening. I was tapping into it. I may have just experienced depression or anxiety, most likely both. Until I learned to recognize and stop and take a minute and go, wait a minute, this isn't my crap. There's no reason I should be anxious, no reason I should be scared, no reason I should be really bummed or depressed right now. You know, things are going pretty good. You know, step away from it, shake it off, Tina. And, you know, once I make that mental note, then I am able to kind of shake it off and step away from it. It's not mine. It's not my depression I'm feeling somebody else's. It's not my anxiety that I'm feeling. It's not your anxiety that you're feeling. It very likely could be somebody else's. So now that you are making the connection, then that's where it really happens to the growth starts, because now you can go, oops, okay, it's not my crap. I'm going to let it go. A lot of kids deal with the anxiety part. Children that are developing as empaths or psychics, or if they are spiritual, star seeds, indigo kids, and a lot of parents. We are going to go through a lot more. You're going to see a lot more depression. You're going to see a lot more anxiety. There's a lot of different reasons it's happening too right now. Is because the planets are lining up for just quite a perfect kind of combination for that. We will, at one point in May, we will have 5 planets in retrograde. So that's going to, that's going to allow for a little bit of stuff to be stirred up. The other reason is this pandemic itself is purging some of that stuff to get it out and away. Let us deal with it. Let us see it. Bring it to the light. We're coming into a full moon real soon here on May the 8th. And anytime we come into a full moon, you can see some of that, the anxiety and depression peak a little bit. You just have a little more of it. You can't sleep at night quite as well as you had. You're okay. You're okay. The biggest step is just like noticing any other habit. Usually we think of habits as an addiction, but in this case, you can become addicted to being depressed. You can become addicted to having anxiety. Those emotions release chemicals in the brains, serotonin, oxytocin. There's a ton of them. And the brain kind of gets addicted having those chemicals released because we're picking those thoughts that may make us anxious or may take us to the side of depression. Stop and pick a different thought. I use the analogy about the jukebox. The jukebox is playing a song and nobody likes it, so you hit the reject button, which is the thought. You don't like to hear that thought anymore. Stop it and select another song. Pick another thought. Now that you've made the connection, it's you, that you're kind of picking up on other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. They may not be yours. It's easier to let it go once you recognize it's not yours. I am going to give a little deeper detail on some exercises to protect yourself. But I'm going to do that over at Patreon. So if you're not a subscriber yet over at patreon.com, go look for Tina Beecher, Psychic Medium. There's a couple layers of different subscription rates that you can get on Patreon to access not just me, but other psychics and mediums that are giving valuable teaching advice, things that have taken us decades to learn. We're offering to you, like that, with the age of technology, you're getting to hear it and see it and learn it a whole lot quicker. And that's part of what's going on too right now. We still are coming into the age of Aquarius. And that's where a lot of enlightenment is meant to happen. And anytime I get back on the topic of light and I'm wrapping things up, I promise you, as always, I will send you love and light.